iron in their soul. What's up, YouTube? This is your brother King Jabez, back today with another very important message. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this video, leave a comment, let me know what you think about my content. In addition to that, please feel free to follow me over on Instagram at The King Jabez, as well as my website, theironsoul.com. Also, please hit that like button. Give me a thumbs up. If you enjoyed this video, if you get some content that helps you out, share that with your friends and family. It would be greatly appreciated. Today's video is a very important subject and something that I think will give you revelation, a good weekend message. And that is 7 signs that you have an evil person in your life. And so this is such an important message. We need warnings because people are our connections and network. And they also can be our grave, which means they can lead to death in our visions, death in our goals. And unfortunately, in some cases, it can even lead to a physical death, depending on how bad this person is. And so the first of these 7 is one you may not think about, but I feel led of the Spirit to start with this one. The first sign you're dealing with an evil person is this: they appear to be righteous. Hear me out good on this one. You see, Satan himself, Lucifer, is referred to as an angel of light. Think about that. If a person comes to your life and just says, "I'm evil, I'm the devil," okay, you can discern that like right away. But they have to appear to be a nice guy. So often these demonic people, evil people, they're going to be the nice guy. They're going to be the well-spoken one. They're going to appear to be professional and polite. They're going to have all the charisma, right? They have a big following. And just because someone appears to be righteous does not mean that they're righteous. And as I go through all 7 of these points, we're going to clearly see that over time, this individual reveals who he or she is. And so just because someone has an appearance of godliness, they speak the Bible, they speak, the Quran if you're Muslim, they speak good things. This doesn't mean that individual has good intentions toward you. And so an evil person will often come across as righteous. Most cult leaders, they came across as nice guys. That's why people followed them. Over there in Jonestown and all of the people who died there. There are people out here who give the appearance of righteousness, godliness, kindness, compassion, and they are often very evil, manipulative people. So just because someone appears to be righteous does not mean they're a righteous man or woman. Number 2, they send gifts with an evil intention. And so they'll normally give you something, right? Because the title of this is 7 signs of evil person in your life. So this individual has to come across as righteous and more likely give you something for you to want to deal with them. And so it may be a connection. They may buy you a pricely gift. They may give you, ladies may give you some jewelry. They may take you on a nice date. Men, they may give you a business connection. They may give you some money, an opportunity. And before you know it, they're trying to control your whole life. And so be careful with men and women who try to buy you. Nothing wrong with accepting a gift if a person has pure intentions, right? People have given me gifts before and it was pure. It was they wanted to help me out. They had love for me and they reached for me. I've been given cars and everything in my lifetime. So I know that there are people out there who are righteous who will give you something on the shrimp just to simply help you and out of the kindness of their hearts. However, there are people who don't think that way. When they give you something, they want something in return. And so they'll come with a gift with the intention of eventually controlling your life. And I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Control who's around you, okay? Trying to dictate the decisions you make. And as soon as you don't like what they got going on, then the first thing come out of their mouth is what they gave you. Did not give you this, did not give you that, right? And they use that as a tool against you as their way of essentially acting like they have ownership over your life. And so now the relationship has changed from two mutual friends to a slave and a servant. And once you begin to see the dust shift, run for your life. You are not anybody's slave. Hello. You're not anybody's servant. So when it gets to that point where they now feel like they own you to a degree because they gave you something, that is a sign of an evil person. Number 3, they imitate you, but they cannot duplicate you. So you'll notice this person start really shadowing you with the intention of overshadowing you. So they're all in your business, pretending to be interested in your personality, the way you carry yourself, the way you dress, the way you articulate your words. Before you know it, they start trying to copy you, right? And it sounds weird, but people do this. They become obsessive, and they'll go watch everything you got on your social media page. They'll watch all your videos. They'll watch all of your content. It's not just YouTube. We're talking about music, acting, dancing, model, all you online. There's somebody somewhere watching your every move, okay, under the pretense of being a fan, but really they're a hater. And they're watching you to duplicate so they can push you to the side. So this happens a lot with your high-ranking enemies. Remember that video? Go check that one out. It's like 12, 13,000 views now. People who have the power and the capital and money to push an idea will watch someone who doesn't quite have that yet or doesn't have the influence. And they'll say, oh, that's a good idea. There, come steal it. And before you know, you get on your phone, you Google something, and wait a minute, that's my idea. And they take off with it. And now it's going to look like you're the copycat because they got a bigger following. So if they got the bigger following, who do you think most people are going to believe? The guy with the bigger following, the lady with the bigger following. And so evil people will often find someone who has less power but has great ideas, who has the great personality, and they'll try to duplicate you with the intention of essentially moving you out of the way. They see you as a threat, so they come along, get into your life, pretend to be your friend, wrap their arms around you, and then they choke you out. So here lies a lesson. Be careful with those who wrap their arms around you when you are hurting. Let me put that on repeat like a mixtape. Be careful with people who come around you when you are in pain and hurting, pretend to be your friend, because as soon as you begin to heal and to grow and develop, they'll turn on you. I've seen this firsthand with my own eyes. And so that is another sign you're dealing with an evil person. Number 4, and this is a big one. They will try to control your influence in your relationships. I'll repeat, they will try to control your influence in relationships, because that's really the objective of an evil person. They want to control you. So when they see the level of influence you have, even if you're not quite there yet, but you're growing, getting there, they're coming in like a hawk, right? And start gossiping, right? And I'm getting ahead of myself with that one too, to change the opinion that people have about you. So they'll work overtime to adjust the perception of others before you. I read a book recently on marketing. And with marketing, as you guys know who have studied this, a lot of it is perception. Unfortunately, the reality of life is people's perception often becomes the reality. Even if their perception is not your reality, it will be reality in their minds. And so when people come into your life with an evil motive, they will be very interested in your level of influence and who you are around, your friendships. And so they'll start hitting you up for your context right away, trying to figure out how you're doing what you get done. Now, there's nothing wrong with sharing ideas, of course, and sharing connections and building a network. That's healthy to do that. But this individual comes in with the intention of basically taking your friendships from you, taking your connections, limiting your influence, kind of putting a shadow ban to a degree on what you're doing. And so that is another clear sign that you're dealing with someone who's evil. Watch someone who seems uncomfortable and irritated, I've seen this too, or annoyed when you're having an enjoyable conversation with other people. I've seen this before. It's weird when you've ever experienced this. You're with somebody who you think is your friend, right? And you're around somebody else and you're creating some dialogue, having good conversation, done this in social settings, and the individual seems annoyed. That's a sign. Don't ignore that. Don't say it's not a big deal. No. That's a big deal. They're revealing themselves to you. They're jealous. They're hateful. And so when you see these little things, watch that and use the discernment that the Most High has given you. See, you need discernment to see this stuff, because without discernment, some of you have the tendency to live in a fantasy land because you are a nice person. You tend to think everybody's that way. No, they're not. Okay, I know you're nice. I know you kind. I know you love people. That ain't what everybody's thinking out here. You hear me? So you have to think with logic as well as the discernment that the Most High gives you. Number 5, and I could spend about a half an hour on this one. They will hide fear and jealousy with anger. They will hide fear and jealousy with anger. A great example of this from the ancient Hebrew scriptures is with King Saul and King David. He often hid his fear and jealousy of David by attacking him physically, right? There's a scripture that says that Saul tried to take David out twice with like a spear. He threw it at him, and David ran for his life twice. And the fact that it happened twice shows how David, to a degree, was non-discerning. If this man tried to kill you once already, David, you need to get out the way. And so some of you, you got these people around you who show their hand to you, and for whatever reason, you minimize and downplay it, and they get out on you again. And see, sometimes God has to allow people to really hurt us for us to move on and to make new connections in our life. Because when you're connected to a person and you create a soul ties are not just intimacy in the bedroom, but you create a soul tie through relationships, through business, through fellowship, organizations. It's hard to sometimes break that soul tie, right? Saul was like a father figure to King David, or David before he became king, young David. And so some of you men and women hearing this message, you may have to break free from father figures. That's difficult to do. I've done that before. That's hard to do. You may have to break free from a mother figure, auntie figure for some of you ladies. And so a part of your growth and development is sometimes breaking free from people who helped you in one season of your life that can't help you in this season of your life. You draw? They were helpful for you in one season of life, but for this next move, they're going to be in your way. So an evil person will often hide the fear. They fear the progress you're making. They fear the potential you have. They fear others liking you more than they like them. And that leads to this jealousy. And jealousy is cruel as the grave, according to King Solomon. So when folks get jealous, they start gossiping. They lighten you up over on Twitter. Come on, they lighten you up on the book. They lighten you up over there on Instagram in the comment section. That's where all that comes from. That jealousy and that strife and bitterness that's in so many people. So when you begin to notice this, that is a clear sign, ladies and gentlemen, that this is an evil person in your life. They will try to mask their fear of you and their jealousy of you by aggressively attacking you to make you feel like there's something wrong with you. So when they do this, you start questioning yourself like, okay, is there something wrong with me? Do I deserve this? Am I a bad person? And that's all designed to shift the perception you have of yourself. Number 6, they will begin to get nervous about your progress. When they see good things happen to you, they'll try to downplay it. They'll try to minimize it. That is a sign that you have an evil person in your life. They are not really happy for you. They kind of have a way, and they don't do this at first. They come across again at first as righteous, nice, kind. They play the game, right? And eventually they'll start minimizing your accomplishments. Oh, that little car. Or that little bitty house, so you got that little position. Everything you got is little, right? That little car, that little position, that little acting role, that little song you just dropped, that little music video you just dropped, that little picture you took on Instagram. You got those 100 few likes, you got them little 1,000 likes or 100 likes, 50 likes, whatever it may be for you, whatever level you're on. You got the little 1,000 followers on the ground. You got the little 5,000 followers on the ground. You got the little 10,000 followers over on Twitter or TikTok or whatever it may be. They will minimize everything you do. Right? That is your sign. If you don't see that, you're blind to an obvious hater. Whatever you do, whether it be online presence or real life work, you understand? Or, an accomplishment, a promotion at work, you get into a new relationship, you find a new girlfriend, new boyfriend, whoever you may be, they minimize all of your happy moments. If you don't get that, I want to tell you, that's a clear sign, bro, sis, that they are not for you. If they cannot be happy with you, they are not with you. Listen to what the scriptures say. We are to rejoice with those who rejoice and to weep with those who weep. And an evil person, they won't weep with you, so they won't feel bad when you feel bad, and they definitely not rejoicing with you. Hello. So that's your sign right there. They will not weep with you when bad things happen, and they will not rejoice with you when good things happen. So this is a clear sign they are nervous about your progress. If you see someone like that, they do not have your best interest at heart. Get away from that person. And number 7, in closing, they consistently try to overshadow you. This is basically trying to rob you, listen to this, of your individuality. That's kind of the end game with this. They want to rob you of your individuality, who you are as a person. They want to minimize your dreams, your goals, your personality, your time, your talent, your treasures. An individual who's against you will attack your time, right? They'll try to monopolize your time. They will try to minimize or bury your talents, or they'll take your talents and use it for their own kingdoms. That's another big one too. That's another message in itself. They will take all your gifts and use it to build their empire. But when you want to build for yourself, then there's a problem, right? So they'll try to take control of your time, your talent, and your treasures, which is all we got. We only have so much time on the earth. We only have so many gifts that we have received from the Most High Himself. And we have so much treasures we possess, or influence, or finance, or money, capital. And so this individual wants to basically rob you of your individuality, who you are. They are, in other words, they are directly postured against your personality, your progress, your passions, the spiritual power you may have. You understand? They are against that. So the truth of the matter is this. When you begin to see these signs, you don't need to see all 7 of them. If you see about 3 or 4 of these signs, okay? If you wonder how many I need to see. Some of you, I counted 3. They okay, another 4. No. Even if it ain't all 7. If they got about 3 or 4 of these, get away from that joker. That's enough to move on. Watch people who have these 7 signs. They are clearly revealing to you, no matter how nice they try to be, they are not your friend. This is your big brother, King Jabez. Thanks for listening. God bless. Peace.